Good evening, Shawn. Genome editing often makes headlines. I'm thinking about the report of the world's first genome edited babies in November 2018, twin girls. Do you think that anti science advocates will attack this area of science?
Chances are, in this case, maybe not because it's new, but what we have to look at is whether there are either moral or financial power structures that can be disrupted by this. In the case of the growing human control over the reproductive cycle, those kind of disruptions tend to happen with conservative religious institutions who view themselves as having the one true claim on origins, whether they be human origins or origins of the universe. And in this case, this is exerting control over origins. And we can expect to see arguments develop as this becomes more and more common from conservative religious interests who will view this as encroaching on their territory and raise moral objections to it. There are certain other, of course, legal areas that are going to continue to be pushed in boundaries, not only through genomic science, but also through advancing neuroscience particularly, that we can expect over the next 10 to 15 years, where all of the new knowledge has to be codified in terms of policy discussion. And those are the areas where we're going to see battles erupting. Now, generally, we don't see large organized battles unless it's either in a politician's interest to appeal to that religious base, for instance, as it was in Donald Trump's interest to talk about vaccines, for instance, or if it is in a large industry's best interest to fund objections to science, for instance, climate science. It's harder for a smaller religious organization to mount those kinds of objections because they just don't have the same kind of financial power or the same kind of sophistication through media. The exception to that is the large network of alliances and media companies that conservative evangelicals have put together. So we can expect that conservative evangelicals may be the source of future objections to genomic science or to neuroscience.